Hi there, welcome to my channel. Today I have for you a full body Pilates workout utilizing your small stability ball. Please make sure that it is not inflated all the way, otherwise it will make some of these workouts nearly impossible. So grab your ball, grab your mat, and I'll see you in a moment. First, let's start by lying back on our mat. You're gonna take the ball, place it between your knees, feet right underneath your knees. Arms are lightly pressing into the mat. A couple deep breaths here. As you do this, start to settle into your neutral spine and give me a little pressure on that ring or on that ball. So with each exhale, I want you thinking of anchoring the ribs just a little bit more, sinking the tailbone a little bit heavier into the mat. There's a tiny little baby arch in the small of your back. Your fingertips are reaching towards your toes, and those shoulders are pressing into the mat. Just starting to wake up everything here. There's no tension in the neck. Keep that pressure into the ball. Last big inhale here. Exhale, rock the pelvis back, roll through imprint, peel your spine up and away into your bridge. Just hold here for a moment, big inhale, and then exhale. Lengthen the spine away as you roll it back down. Inhale, resolve to neutral. Exhale, scoop the abdominals, roll it back, curl up, peel up. Last inhale, and exhale, roll it down. Bone by bone. Tailbone is the last thing to hit. Again, up, scoop it up. Hold here, take a peek at your hips, make sure they're even. Reach the right arm back behind you. And then back down. Left arm back and down. Just alternating arms here, opening up the chest, kind of waking up the shoulder joints. Keep even weight distribution between both feet. Everything is still working down there. The ribs are knitted in. Now bring both arms up to the ceiling, big inhale, and then exhale, roll it down. Good, keep the arms lifted and roll it up. Hold here, bring right arm out to the side. Really anchor the left shoulder down as we do this and lift it up. Left arm out, feel the stretch if you need it. You're still thinking wide collarbone here, so the shoulders are not inching up into your ears. So if you need to bring your arms out more to the side as opposed to lateral, do so if that's more comfortable for you. We're inhaling as we're lengthening the arm away and exhaling to pull it up. Just warming everything up here. Last one. Bring the arms up, big inhale. And then exhale, roll it back down. Good. Hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock from side to side, keeping the ball where it's at. Lengthen your legs out to this tabletop position. If you'd like a more of a challenge, you can always bring them out straight. It's up to you. Keep them at tabletop. You're now in an imprinted spine. Raise the arms up and back and down. Reach them back and down. So as you do this, do not let the ribs or the low back leave the mat. So if that means your arms don't completely touch the floor, then that's where you stop. Keep the shins parallel to the floor. There's light pressure on the ball. You're inhaling as you reach the arms back, and exhale, pull it all in. Keep pressure on the ball. There's energy out of the toes, but they're not scrunched up. Keep pulling the ribs down. Keep pulling the navel in and up. Last one here. Bring the arms up, lift the head, neck, and shoulders up, and start pumping here for your hundreds. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep pressure on the ball. All right, it's not a perfect circle. It's more of an oval. Collarbone is staying wide. And the tips of your shoulder blades are just lightly kissing the mat. Make sure those arms are pumping above your abdominals. I don't want you tapping the floor. This helps you get connected to those deep abdominals. Extra challenge again, you can straighten the legs up, you can lower them down, you can maybe dip the legs out and lift them up. Inhale, exhale. Lower the legs down, keep pumping for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach the arms away. Bring those feet in and roll it up into that bridge again. Really feel this stretch. The knees are reaching away, the fingertips are reaching away. Feel the opening of the hips and in the thighs. Big inhale, and then exhale, roll it down. One more like this. Keep those shoulders bolted to the mat. Give me a light pressure into your big toes. Feel just a little bit more activation through the legs. Keep pressure on the ball and then roll it back down. Bone by bone, try to scoop the abdominals, stretch everything out. Good. Bring those arms down to the side. Actually, bring them out more like a letter V or Y, depending on where you're at. Lift both legs up into tabletop. We're gonna do a little can here. So just drop the legs over to the left and back up. Inhale, over, and exhale to center. Press the arms, press the shoulders into the mat to help you. The ribs, try not to let them leave the mat. This rotation is just coming from your low back, from your pelvis. Squeeze that ball to lift you back up to center. Last one here. Come to center, hug your knees in for just a moment. We're gonna add on. Lengthen those legs out, arms back down. All right, tuck your chin in. All right, really lengthen the back of your neck. As we reach our legs over to the right, you're gonna straighten both legs, bend them back in, and over to the other side. Choose whichever breath pattern works for you, as long as you're not holding your breath. Shoulders are pressing into the mat. The abdominals are scooping, especially as you're bringing the legs to center. Last one here. Bring it to center. Now straighten both legs out. Lower the legs. Bring your hands behind the base of your skull. Lower the legs even more and lift them up. You can add a little flex of the feet and point of the toes as you bring them up. The spine stays imprinted. You only go as low as you can keep the back, the low back onto the mat. Last one here. Hold it to where you can. Give me pulses on the ball. Keep the abdominals scooped. Let's go external rotation with those feet. Like you're trying to bring those heels in to kiss. For 3, 2, and 1. Bend it in. Let's take those knees over to the right and completely drop them down. Look over that left shoulder. Feel that yummy twist in your center. Big inhale into those ribs. And exhale up and over to the other side. Really reach that top hip, that top knee away. And back to center. All right, let's take the ball now to our ankles. And I want you to get some pressure on the ball. So when we go through this next bridging, I want you to think of the pressure on the ball is not changing as your hips lift up and down. So arms down by the side. Find your neutral spine here. Big inhale. And exhale, curl it under and roll it up. Hold here. Don't let the position or don't let the ball change shape. And roll it down. So it should feel like your inner thighs are working. So if you're like me and your knees want to kind of go out as you do this, you should feel everything just trying to stay zipped up towards the center. And roll it down. Good. Come back up, roll it up, scoop it up. You're gonna bring arms into these like 90-degree angles. This is gonna end up being in goalpost arms, okay? So as we lift the heels up, the arms go out wide. Really press the elbows into the mat. As the elbows come to center, the heels drop down. Again, don't allow the shape of the ball to change. So you're still keeping even pressure on the ball as your heels lift up and down. And use this opportunity to use those upper back muscles. Really press the elbows in, feel the chest kind of lift up to the ceiling, and bring it in. And make sure we're breathing. The hips are staying lifted and even, I hope. Are you feeling this? Collarbone is staying wide. Now bring the elbows in, keep the heels lifted as you roll it back down. Oh, good. Hug the knees in. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Keep the spine imprinted. Let's do our double leg stretch. Lengthen it away. Circle the arms around. Don't hit anything and hug it in. Scooping those abdominals, pulling your stomach away from your thighs as you bring the knees in. Now hold it out there, hold it. Give me squeezes on the ball. Bring your arms to your hips, lift up a little bit higher. Take your hands behind the base of your skull, keep pulsing on the ball. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend it in. Fabulous. All right. Let's bring both legs up to the ceiling and let's take our ball and place it up against your shin. If that's not comfortable for you, you place it up against your thigh. All right. Keep your head, neck, and shoulders lifted. Lengthen the left leg away and lift it up. You're giving pressure, keeping pressure on that ball. And you're pressing more into it as the leg lifts up. Last one. Switch legs. Keeping those feet in line with your sits bones. Stretch the leg away. 2 and 1. Hug it in. All right, bring the legs to tabletop now. You're gonna lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and you're just gonna press into the ring. Or press it, why do I keep wanting to say ring? Press. Now straighten that left leg out and pull it in. For 2 and 1. Keep that same motion. We're gonna pass the ball around. Try to reach that ball away. It's stretching out with those toes on that left leg. Last one here. Let's go to the other side. Pressing onto that ball. Lower your head down at any point if you need to. Keep the spine imprinted. Keep that motion. Let's go for the ball passing through. That left leg is not moving. Working on a little coordination here. At least it's trying not to move. Mine seems to want to move. For 2 And 1, take the ball between your thighs, drop the legs over to the right. And then over to the left. All right, let's take those feet back underneath your knees. Here, let's take the ball up to the ceiling. Give me some pressure on that ball first. All right, so we got a neutral spine here. Press, press, and release. Let's add some breath. Big inhale. Exhale, press, press. Feel the stomach cinch together as you do this. And release. Exhale, press, press, and release. Now bend the arms as you press into the ball. And release. And release. Let's add some bridging. Press, press, and release. Feel that collarbone widen as you press into the ball, really pressing the shoulders down. You're giving that bottom a good squeeze as you thrust those hips up into the air. For 2. And 1. Lower it down. Good. Let's take that ball off to the side and then let's go to a figure 4 stretch. So right now my right ankle is over my left knee. I'm just going to give that a little pull in. And then switch legs. All right. Let's now take the ball, place it underneath our feet. Make sure that ball is underneath your knees and in line with your pubic bone, navel, and nose here. And I'm in a slight external rotation with my feet, right? They're not quite parallel. It just doesn't feel natural for me. So do what feels good to you. All right, big inhale. Exhale, lift the hips up. Hold it here. Just get your balance. Hold, hold, and lower down. Exhale, lift, lift. Even weight. Think of dragging the heels into the booty. All right, really feel the back of your legs kick on and lower down. Extra challenge. Bring both arms up into the air and do this. Even weight between both feet. See what I mean about a squishy ball? If this thing was fully inflated, this would be a little rough. Take a peek at those hips. Make sure they're even. Ooh, I'm all over the place. For 2 and 1. Lower all the way down. Take the ball over to your left foot. So if at any point this is too much for you, you just take the ball away. You do your feet on the floor, okay? So lift the hips up. Hold it. Try to get even weight between both feet. And lower down. Lift up. I know that's hard to do, but you should feel that left leg working like crazy. We're just staying in a neutral spine here as we lift the hips up and up. You're using your arms. Your shoulders are pressing into the mat. For 2 and 1. Good. Lower down. All right. Let's see which side is weaker or stronger. Lift the hips up. Just hold there for a moment. Just try to get even weight between both feet. Check your hips, make sure they're level, and lower down. Still thinking of dragging that heel into your booty. How's that right leg doing? How's both legs doing? For 2 and 1. Whew, beautiful. Let's take the ball between your feet. We're gonna do a little roll over. So make sure there's nothing behind you that you're gonna kick. Straighten both legs up to the ceiling for just a moment. Stretch out the back of the legs. Plant the arms down, okay? Lengthen the legs away, scoop the abdominals, lift the hips up and over. Flex the feet, feel the stretch in the back of your legs. Really lift the hips up to the ceiling and then lower it back down. And again, really trying to stretch out everything that we just worked. Flex the feet, keep them flexed as you roll it back down. Don't allow your hips to sink down into your ribs. I want you to feel a stretch in your back and in your legs. Flex those feet, roll it back down. Give me one more. Bend the knees in, give yourself a little hug, and now straighten those legs out, away. Let's do our roll up here. So really press into that ball, reach the arms back, plug the shoulders down, lift up, squeeze on the ball to help you, and roll forward, and then lengthen it away. Lift up, lift up. So it's the same thing here, still trying to keep the lift of the rib cage off of the hips as we roll up and over. So my ribs and my navel are pulling back as my fingertips are reaching away. Let's go with flexed feet here. Drive the heels away. And roll it back. And just go into this half roll back here and just hold. Hold. Try to scoop those abdominals as much as you can here. Hold. Raise the right arm up and down. Left arm up and down. Working those obliques. Energy out of the crown of the head, okay? Try to stay lifted. Don't sink down. For 2 and 1. Right arm out to the side. Woo! I feel the shake on this one. So you go to where you feel a challenge point. If it's further back, that's where you're at. If it's up here, then you're there. We have different bodies every day. Last one. Good. Round it forward. Reach the arms back behind you. Give yourself a little stretch. And now let's come to our elbows. So I want the elbows as close in, well, I want them under your shoulders. All right, so I want you to feel your upper back muscles working as you keep the chest lifted. You're gonna raise those legs up into tabletop so the abdominals are scoop, but the chest is lifted, okay? So we're just gonna straighten the legs and lower it down. Straighten and lower. So the more you straighten, the more I want you to scoop, scoop, and back down. Collarbone stays wide. For 2 and 1, hold where you can and give me squeezes on the ball. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. For 2 and 1, hold that squeeze, hold it, really pull the tummy in, lift the chest, and bend it in. Let's come onto our side. All right, so this is gonna be the easiest position here. And this is gonna be the option, I guess, if you'd like to progress. So that ball's still in between the ankles here. My head is pressing into my hands, so I'm not allowing everything to just slouch down. So everything's active. Hold here. Now I want you to press that top arm into the mat. I'm on my right side. Pressing down, pull the stomach in, float the legs up, up, and lower down. Try not to have any tension in your neck, and lower down. My legs are slightly forward of my body, so they're at this angle. You should be feeling your legs. Should be feeling that top obliques, and lower down. As you lift up, I want you to give me pressure on the ball, and the toes are lengthening away. And lower down. You might even just be thinking about lifting your legs up and still feel it. Good. And lower down. Last one, hold it here. Hold it. Hold it. Good. All right, let's switch sides. However you wish to get there. All right, press that top hand into the mat and lift, lift, and lower. Lift, lift. Whew. Which side is easier, stronger for you? Whew. The ribs are pulled in. You're in this neutral spine, so we're not splaying our ribs and really arching our back to get our legs up. It's a tiny movement. Whew. And trying to keep your gaze forward. So if you're looking down at your feet right now, we're out of alignment. I know that's tough to do. And you're trying to keep the chest open and lifted. For 2. And last one, hold it here. Really stretch the toes away. And lower down. Keep the ball where it's at. We're gonna come onto our stomach here. You're just gonna place your head into your hands, all right? Whew. And actually, let's straighten our legs out here. All right, so point those toes. Give me a slight external rotation of the legs, right? Kind of open up your hips to the mat. Press your pubic bone down into the mat. Pull the stomach away from your shirt. And then draw the shoulders down your back. All right. Keeping that position, float the legs up off the mat. Hold, hold, and lengthen down. Same thing, lift up. Really reach out through the crown of your head as you lengthen the toes away. Hold and lower down. You should not be feeling this in your low back. This should be booty, backs of the legs, and lower down. Lift it up. Let's go for our beats. Squeeze on the ball. Try to bring those heels together. Remember, we're in external rotation. Should be feeling the backs of your legs. If you're not, imagine lifting the backs of your legs up to the ceiling as you do this. For 2, and 1, and lower down. Tuck the toes under. Sit back on your hips. Really reach the heels away, like you're trying to flex your feet. You might even feel a stretch in the backs of your heels there. All right, reposition that ball if you need to, and then come back down. All right, we're now gonna have our knees bent, feet flexed upwards. You know what's coming. Press the pubic bone down, pull the stomach up and in, and really pull those shoulders down to your hips. Float the knees up as you try to press the heels into the ceiling. And lower down. Press them up, up, and lower down. Try to relax your neck. Press, press. So we're squeezing on that ball just as much as we're trying to lift the knees or the knees up. Now keep the knees lifted as you try to straighten your legs and bend them back in. Lengthen them away. Try to keep the knees lifted. Press the hips into the mat. Should be feeling all kinds of things working right now.
Really try to bring that ball to your booty as you squeeze on the ball. Shoulders are still pulling down into your back for 2 and 1. Good. Lengthen it away. Tuck the toes under. Sit the hips back. Give yourself a little sway from side to side. Let's take a break from that for just a moment. We will come back to it. Let's do a little quadruped hold here. Keep the ball where it's at. Same thing when we were doing the bridging. Don't allow the shape of the ball to change as we lift up. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Back is flat. Shoulders are pulled down. Float the knees up and just hold. Hold and lower down. Adjust if you need to. I don't have a mirror in front of me, but I'm hoping my knees are underneath my hips. That's what I'm hoping for you. Big inhale and exhale. Lift up and lower down. Again, the stomach and the ribs are pulling in as the back is staying flat. This is amazing for our deep abdominals. And lower down. Sit the hips back and come back up. Let's add on. Lift the knees up, pike the hips up, really drive the heels down, and bend the knees back down. Tap the knees, thrust the hips up into the air. I'm looking for a stretch in the back of your legs. So if you're like me and you're tight, you may not be able to get them quite straight. I'm thinking of pulling my chest towards my knees as I'm sticking my booty out and I'm keeping pressure on the ball. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together as I thrust my chest towards my knees. And bring it down. Sit the hips back. All right. Let's do one more little variation here of our leg kicks. So you're going to place the ball between your, or behind your right knee. Let's see if I can keep it there. Okay. So now let's come up onto our elbows. If this at any point is hurting your back, then you just come back down to that first position. So I've got my fists together, my elbows are wide, and I'm losing my ball here. Again, this is why it's squishy. All right, so I'm keeping pressure on the ball. My left leg is lengthening away. And my right foot is flexed. Let's see if I can remember this. Try to float that right knee up and pulse on the ball. It's slow pulses. So squeeze, squeeze, and release. Squeeze, squeeze, and release. The stomach is pulled in. The hips are pressing down into the mat. Whew. And the shoulders are pulled down your back. So many things to think about. For 2. Whew. I lie. Give me a couple more. Try to keep that knee lifted. That's the toughest part here. Squeeze, squeeze. How you doing? You feeling anything? I hope so. For 2. 2. Last one here. Make it count. Really pull that heel into your booty. Lift that knee up. Good. And let's switch sides. All right. Right leg reaches away. Press those fists into one another. Flex that foot, lift the knee up, and press, press, and release. Whew. Depending on how tight you are, you might feel a stretch in the top of your thigh. And do what you can here. Try to keep the ribs pulled in. Again, this is always an option. Whew. I am shaking. I do not know about you. Keep pressing the fist in together.
How about the weather? Give me a couple more. Pull that heel in. Try to keep the knee lifted. I'm shaking. Last one. Pull it in. Try to wring it out as best you can. Good. And then drop it down. Let's actually come onto our back here. Reach the ball behind you. Press the heels together. Lift up and roll up. Try to touch those toes. I'm just looking for a stretch here in the back of your legs. And then lengthen it away. Give me pressure on that ball. And roll it back down. Let's keep the left leg down. The right leg is gonna, actually, let's go left knee bent, right leg straight, all right? I want you to trace the ball along your leg as we roll up. Big inhale, and then exhale. Roll it up, roll it up, roll it up, and then roll it down. Try to keep your legs glued together. So the further away your left foot is from your booty, the easier it is. The closer in, the harder it is. Scoop those abdominals, press the legs together, and roll it back down. It's like our teaser work right here. Last one. This is actually our last one. Roll it up, roll it up. Hold, take the ball into your hands. You're gonna reach the arms out wide and in, out wide and in. Chest stays open. Low abdominals are scooped. Legs are pulling in together. For 2 and 1 and roll it back down. Whew. All right, gotta do the other side. So left leg is straight. Ball into the left leg. And roll it up. So every side is different. Maybe you have to adjust that right foot. Try to keep that collarbone open. Legs are squeezing together. And you're trying your best to articulate your spine back down onto the mat. Give me one more here. Hold it where you can. Side and in. How you doing? Last one. Center. And roll it down. Just drop your knees over to the left, to the right. All right, let's turn onto our stomach again. Do a little extension, a little twisting here. So find both hands onto the ball. Depending on your shoulders, might have to go out or in. And if this is not comfortable for you, you can just take your hands wide. All right, so have those feet slightly spread apart, external rotation, toes are pointed. You're gonna press into that ball and lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Actually, your whole upper body. And then lengthen back down. Inhale. And then down. So this movement's really coming from your upper back. Your low back should not feel any pinching or pain here. All right, come all the way down. On this next one, you're gonna take your left hand to the ball, your right hand goes on top. We're gonna add in some rotation. You're gonna press up, reach that right arm back, and down. Exhale as you twist. Try to touch the toes and back down. Press. That left arm is getting a good workout here. And then down.
Switch hands, right hand on, left hand on top. Make sure we're pointing those toes. Make sure the hips are pressing into the mat. The stomach is pulled up and in. Inhale, lift up, reach it back. You're trying to keep that chest open as you reach the hand away. There's no shift in your hips. It's just your upper body rotating. So maybe if you're not quite here, maybe it's just taking that left hand off and down. That right there is challenging. All right, play with it. Last one here. Lift up, reach it behind. Reach it, reach the toes away. And then come down. Whew. All right. Sit the hips back. Give me a little round of the low back. In fact, let's come to all fours here. And let's just do a little cat-cow. Tuck the tailbone under. Reach that back up to the sky. And then articulate back down to that cow, whatever animal you want to make. Tuck the tailbone under, keep the rounded shape, sit the hips back, feel that extra stretch in your low back, and then come back to start. And then arch the back, drop the shoulders down out of the ears. I want you to tilt your hips over to the right, look at your hips, if you can see them, and then over to the left. So like a little tail wag here. Just trying to get a stretch on one side, little contraction on the other. Good. All right, let's come to center. Now let's do a little bit more quadruped work here. We're gonna take the left knee, we're gonna place it on top of the ball. Hands are gonna come in front underneath the shoulders, all right? You're gonna float the right knee up, so you're kind of even now with the left knee. And just hold, and lower down. Just getting a feel for it here. Float that right knee up, stretch the right leg back, and then raise it up, tap it down. Raise it up, tap it down. The back is wide, shoulders are pulling down your back, your stomach is pulled in, you should be feeling all kinds of things right now. Floating that back of the leg up to the ceiling for 2 and 1. Tuck the knee in, drop it down, readjust if you need to. You can always do this without the ball. All right, float the knees up, reach that right leg back. Let's draw a little rainbow. Inside, out to the side. The more you drive that left heel away, the more stability you'll get. Try not to let the hips rotate. Shoulders are not rotating. It's just that right leg moving. Chin is pulled into your neck for 2 and 1. Come to center and drop it down, okay? Everything should feel lit up right here. All right, readjust if you need to. Straighten that right leg back, lift it up, bend it in, lengthen, and drop it. The more you think of reaching the toes away, the more you'll feel it in the back of your leg. For 2 and 1. Whew. And let's switch sides. If you have wrist issues and you're comfortable with it, you can always take your hands into a fist. I have to do that sometimes. I have some pins and a plate in my left wrist. Look at me, already wobbly. So do what's comfortable for you. You can even come down to your forearms if you like. So listen to your body. All right, really drive that right heel away. Lengthen that left leg back. Lift and tap. You're trying not to let the shape of your spine change. Shoulders are pulling down your back. Oh, this side is way tougher. For 3 and 2 and 1. Bend it in. Drop it down for a moment. How those arms and shoulders doing? All right, try to make sure that knee stays underneath your hip here. Flex that foot, reach it back. Let's draw those little rainbows or arcs. So the bigger you make these, the wider you make these, the harder this is. Whew, these are getting me today. How's that right quad doing too? Really lift the back of that leg up to the ceiling. For 2 and 1. Come to center and drop it down. Next we have our bends and extends. Ooh. All right. I think I'm gonna come to my fist for this one. Lift it up, bend it, lengthen, down. Stomach is pulled in. We're not arching that low back to get the leg up. Whew, this side is rough for me, y'all. For 2 and 1. Whew. Drop it down. Whew. Sit the hips back for just a moment. In fact, reach the arms behind you. Whew. Sit up tall. Stretch those arms away. Beautiful. All right, let's do a little mermaid to end. Little stretch, little body lengthening. Just find those legs zipped up together. The ball is in line with my hip. I'm starting on my right side here, so inner thighs are engaged. I'm pressing the heel of my hand into the ball. My left bicep is up to my ear. I'm pressing down to lift. All right, so I'm not concerned about coming down. I want to lift. Should be feeling the side body here kick on. And relax. Press down to lift. Lift. And release. Press down to lift. Lift, that's pebbles. And release. Press. Press. And release. Take your left hand or hand to the shin. And then stretch it away. Go for a little extra twist here. So I'm trying to keep my hips square as I found this twist. And let's do the other side. Legs are zipped up. All right, left hand in or whatever side you're on. Bicep to ear, press, press, and release. It's almost like I'm trying to pull the ball into my hips as I do this. So my stomach is pulling in, the ribs are staying pulled in, and I'm really feeling my side body and my arms working, and my inner thighs because they're squeezing together. And release. Last one, make it count. Try to grow tall here. So I'm trying to touch the ceiling with the crown of my head. Squeeze those inner thighs and release. Take both hands, or actually just take the one hand to start. Left arm up. Stretch out all that work. And now go for that twist. Try to keep the hips square
as you find that rotation. So right now I'm trying to open up that left side of the rib cage to get an extra stretch. This is my tighter side. Push your hair out of your face, wipe the sweat from your brow, and give yourself a hand. Thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed this workout. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you thought, what you felt, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks, guys.